The third thing we want to focus on is the present and not the past. And this one's really simple, but I find it to be important when fixing a struggling program. So if you want to fix a struggling program, you got to first realize where you are. I mean, I think the first step to any kind of recovery is admitting there's a problem. And, there's all different anonymouses. If you're in Alcoholic Anonymous, the first thing you'll say is, I'm an alcoholic. You have to believe that. Well, if your team's struggling, you have to understand, I am at a place that is struggling. They know they're struggling. It doesn't do any good to talk about the past. Let's be a positive force. This is an easy trap people run into on accident, and it derails their fixing and struggling program. Because remember what we talked about earlier, no one is messing this up on purpose. So don't think you're the good guy and they're the bad guys that mess it up. Nobody's not trying to fix their program. Everybody is. Some people will succeed and some will not. And the ones that don't are going to focus on things that don't matter. They're not going to do that last thing, which is focus on what you have, not what you don't. They're going to spend a lot of time focusing on what they don't. But this is another one, because it's real easy when you first get to a place to tell them how bad they used to be and how dumb they were last year and how stupid the old coach was and how sorry the players were and how they just didn't do it your way and all that. And my advice to you is, what good is that? What good is that? Focus on now. Look, it brings no value to remind them how bad they were. They already know. It tears down relationships. I'll give you a great example as I'm trying to teach this through my own, why this is, I stated at the introduction, this is one of my favorite subjects because I personally have gained a lot of this knowledge where a lot of the other topics we talk about I've studied, and I've gone right through this one. And I go to Pickens High School, and Pickens High School has been a school around 60 years. This is the opposite of where I was before. Long time, Mountain County, one school in the county, hometown, great place to be, great place to live, but they've been really struggling. I go in, and I've gotten the job, and the other guy that didn't get the job that was on the staff, I guess the job probably came down to me and him, people just kind of assume I would have an issue with him or he would have an issue. He comes to me immediately and says, Coach, I get the job. He congratulates me, basically says, look, I'll go down to the middle school. I'll go get another job, whatever, give you my teaching spot. Just let me know what you need and all that. And I said, well, Coach, why don't you just hang in there and let's talk a little bit. So turns out this guy is one of my best friends to this day, Sam Wigington. And turns out he was one of the main reasons why we fixed this struggling program, because I come in with all these new ideas from a different place, but he knows the place. And we become friends instantly. And I'm saying, hey, tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this guy. And every time I'm going into a room, he can tell me, hey, that's so-and-so's son. That's so-and-so's dad. That's so, and it becomes something that's great. We've got a mix of the present and the past. If I go into those meetings telling them how dumb they were, telling them how sorry it was that they lost, there's nothing positive coming out of that. I don't build this relationship with these guys. They know they didn't win games last year. You don't have to tell them. It was important to build that relationship. And I know, again, people are not doing this on purpose, but it's so quick when we drop 3 balls in a row at practice to go, that's why you lost every game last year. Brings no value. They drop a ball in practice, tell them to, put their head on the football, move their hands, put their hands together and put their head on the football. You move your head, catch the ball better. If you're playing baseball, you're making an error, you give the guy a coaching point. Don't tell them how sorry they used to be, and that's why we lost, and that's why they're not any good. Or it's easy to do that, but that really tears down relationships. And I think in nowadays, it tears down relationships even more than it ever has. So try to really focus on what we're doing now. Try to focus on building a sense of urgency through your team now. What are we going to do to make this thing have a sense of urgency? So ask yourself that, and write it down. What are we going to do to focus on now? And every time we have issues, we're going to talk about that. we're going to use a word, say it's urgency or excellence or whatever it is. And every time somebody drops a ball or makes an error or misses a 3-point or whatever the sport you're talking about is, we're going to say that word. Hey, we got to be better than that. We got to have excellence. You pick something like that and make it a mantra, something that's positive, instead of telling us how bad they used to be or something like that. That sounds like a simple thing, but you want to fix this struggling program. That's hard to do. You're going to have to do some uncommon things. And this is one of those things.